But, Dave, I did want to get some of your opinions as obviously the Eagles have done some crazy things. You've been covering the Eagles for how long?
This is my 23rd year.
23 years. Where does this offseason rank in terms of just movement and unpredictability?
Probably in the top 5, at least, maybe top 3. Yeah, it's just been a whirlwind ever since the season ended. Almost, it seems like what with the change in the power structure and all that other stuff. It's been almost nonstop.
What did we learn about the change in the power structure from Chip Kelly today? He spoke. He did touch on it a little bit. What information that he gave you was information that was new and that we were searching for?
That he didn't have anything to do with Howie Roseman getting his office moved. It was about the only thing I really didn't know. As expected, he was going to, maybe just pass the buck to Jeffrey Lurie. I really wasn't looking for, control, but Jeff kind of insisted that I take it. But I think Kelly's ego was way too big now for him not to have him gone in there and maybe pulled a little power move or an ultimatum or issued an ultimatum or something like that. But other than that, I wasn't really really too surprised. I didn't expect him to take command or anything.
Do you believe him when he said, "Let's dispel the rumors of Mariota"? I'm not doing it. We got our guy. Is Sam Bradford going to be the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Either him or Mark Sanchez, I think. Yeah, I do. I know that people tend to take what Kelly says with a grain of salt, and rightfully so, because he's been known to change his mind on a few things. But he's not known for making kind of like outlandish statements like that, and everybody thought that he was going to do it, so I don't think it serves any purpose for him to maybe try and throw up a smoke screen or anything. I just don't. I think he's right where he says he has too many holes to fill, and it's kind of refreshing for him to admit that. I know as much as he loves Mariota, it's kind of nice that some reality stepped in for him.
I'll talk with Dave Weinberg, the Eagles beat writer from the Press of Atlantic City. Dave, the Bradford trade came off as a surprise to many. They trade Nick Foles,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously. Most people are in shock. Most people think the trade was a terrible decision. How do you look at this deal? Did they make a good move here by getting Bradford? Do you think he's a better player than Nick Foles is?
When healthy, yes, but when healthy, things are pretty big if, because he's missed the parts of the last 2 seasons with that torn ACL, and so it's kind of hard to say that. I mean, potentially, and he's like the number 1 overall pick. He's the Heisman Trophy winner, so certainly has his credentials are higher than Nick's, and he had a terrific rookie season. But those injuries can make me wonder, why they felt the need to bring Sam in, unless somehow Pat Shurmur convinced Chip that he's healthy enough that he would be a major upgrade. And from what I understand, there were other teams that were also interested in trading for him. And Sam had just said that this thing was in the works for about a month now. So I guess the Eagles must really like him, and they consider him like a pretty big upgrade over Nick, even with the money factor.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are worried about the durability of Sam Bradford. Could that same worry be there for Nick Foles? He missed, parts of games in all 3 of his NFL seasons. Was that something that could have been a concern?
I don't know. A torn ACL is a pretty serious thing. I mean, a broken collarbone is almost kind of a freak accident kind of deal. So, and Nick he missed 1 game, I think, the year before that with wrist injury. So I don't even remember what it was. But I wouldn't consider Nick to be necessarily injury prone, whereas Sam, I think that question has to be thrown out there because of the ACL. He had a major shoulder injury in college at Oklahoma, so I think the red flag's up a little higher with Sam than it is with Nick.
If the Eagles end up, using Bradford as their quarterback and he works out to play at the potential that he was this a steal of a deal? If he turns out to be your franchise quarterback and he plays and he's the guy, is this a steal of what they got?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. If this all works out, if all these moves work out, especially him, then Chip is a genius. Yeah, he kind of like stole him from every other team. He said he even got offered a 1st-round pick for Bradford today. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah.
I love how he throws that in there. By the way, hey, just so you know, I got a 1st-round pick offered. Go do what you want with that one.
Yeah. Just by the way, right. I'm the only Chip here, though. There's no trading Chip. I'm the only Chip here. That was kind of funny. But, if he can pull it off, it's a really big move. Yep.
Your take on DeMarco Murray. I know Bradford was just asked about him. He seemed like he was cheering for him. There are reports out there now, the latest one saying that basically DeMarco is now reaching out to the Eagles. He's at the point where he's reaching out to them saying, this is where I want to be. Is this something that's realistic after signing Ryan Matthews today?
I didn't think so at first, but apparently Chris Mortensen was saying that DeMarco directly called Chip directly. Bradford and Murray were roommates in college, and they remained very good friends. So Sam said he's been texting him and tweeting with him and calling him, just trying to get him to come here. But I just can't help to think that maybe the money factor might prevent him from going here. I think he's going to have a pretty big price tag.
He got offered $5 million by Dallas.
Oh, really? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Because I don't. To be honest with you, I just don't. I don't understand why you would trade LaShawn McCoy and then bring in Murray and Matthews. I mean, someone's got to tell me why McCoy is not the better fit for this team. I mean, he's
what about the Gore?
2 years ago.
There were some rumors that they were interested in Ingram. They ended up trying to sign Gore, then he left, and now Matthews. It seems like he wants a bigger, more downhill guy. I mean, a guy who runs more straight ahead instead of bouncing around in the backfield.
Maybe so, but how can you argue with what he did 2 years ago, though? And last year he was playing, with David Molk as his center and stuff. I mean, he still finished third in the league in rushing. I just don't see how everybody's so down on him. So I know his personality can rub people the wrong way, and leaving 20-cent tips and stuff like that. But I just think he's a fantastic running back.
I agree with you. I mean, ultimately, was it a talent fit or was it a $12 million fit?
Yeah, it was a money thing. Yeah, I would think it just as it was with Deshaun. I think too. I don't.
I agree with that.
I don't see how you can. Argue with his ability. It had to be his contract.
He admitted today they wanted Macklin back, and Macklin got $11 million. Would you have let him walk for $11 million?
Walk, yeah, yeah. I'm not as big a Jeremy Macklin fan as some people. I know he had a very nice year this year, but. Also, he's been known to have some knee problems, and I think he's a very good number 2 receiver. I just think they need that downfield threat, and hopefully they'll pick one up either with free agency or in the draft, because Macklin was not it.
You and I agree on that. All right, so let's see. How do they Macklin's gone, which I was okay with, but now what do they do?
Anybody to replace him, right? Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, that's a big if, because I don't know if there's anybody left in free agency that could fill that need for him. So I'm assuming they'll have to maybe go Amari Cooper from Alabama or someone, one of those guys in the draft, I would think.
I would like Kevin White. That would make me happy. But, no.
Yeah, of course.
I think, would Crabtree, Percy Harvin, I know that a lot of people are thinking that he's not a, quote, Chip Kelly kind of guy, but he would be a pretty intriguing fit for this offense, I would think. Would any of those guys, if Mike Wallace became available, you saw Steve Johnson out there in San Francisco got released today. He's interesting, a big guy. I know Chip likes big guys. So any of the names that are free agents make sense.
I don't think Harvin does. Like you said, his attitude, and he's been run out of every freaking team he's played for. So I wouldn't consider him. I wouldn't think he would fit in very well here. Plus, he's more of a Darren Sproles type almost. You can use him in the backfield. You can spread him out. You can use him in the return game. And so I don't think he's that legitimate burner downfield guy like Deshaun was. So I would kind of toss him out of the mix. Some of those other guys, maybe Crabtree, although he hasn't lived up to his potential to date. Maybe Chip could bring it out of him.
How much? Let's stop right there for a second and answer. How much does Chip's offense, do you think, make these guys seem to the fans better than they really are? A Foles, a Macklin, And on the flip side, you put Bradford in the Rams. If Nick Foles played in St. Louis the last 3 years, do we know who he is?
No, probably not, because he's probably not starting.
That's a good point too. But I said this: if Bradford had been here for 3 years and Foles had been there, would this trade have ever happened?
Would they have traded Bradford for Foles?
If Foles had been the quarterback for the Rams for the last 3 years and Bradford had been the Eagles quarterback in Chip Kelly's system, would there be a flip-flop here, and would people be up in arms about trading away, getting Bradford for? I'm just shocked that people are so tied to Foles because of that 1 year. To me, if he's playing in St. Louis for the last 3 years and Bradford was here in this offense, there's no way this trade is made the other way.
Absolutely correct. Yeah. Bradford would be the 3-time Pro. I mean, knee injuries aside, but yeah, if he was healthy, he would have put up numbers that would have just been unbelievable. Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, you're right there.
I know Dave Byron Maxwell is going to be speaking coming up soon. I know a lot of people don't like Kerry Williams because of the penalties. I did some research on Maxwell. He had more penalties than Williams in less games, 9-7 in 13 games to 16. Is he a significant upgrade, $63 million of an upgrade over Kerry Williams?
Ability-wise, maybe not, but culture and personality-wise, yes. I think Kerry just rubbed too many people the wrong way with his abrasive attitude, complaining about the workout, the pace of the practices. I don't want to play practice against the Patriots. I want to pick out sconces for my new house instead of coming to voluntary workouts. I just think Kelly just got tired of his act. I don't think it was there's no question ability thing necessarily.
I get all that, but are people thinking that Maxwell's going to come in and you're getting?
He's not. No, he's not Darrelle Revis. I mean, you have to wonder, like you were talking about, the offense Chip's offense making players better. The same could probably be said for Seattle's defense. Maybe I don't know if it was Richard Sherman or Cam Chancellor and everybody else making him the better corner than he really is. I guess we'll find out though, because he's really going to have to step up in this defense.
It seems like we've gone through a bunch. Is there anything I missed that is on your mind that is? I know obviously they let go of a couple of guys, Cole and Harriman's. They brought back Brandon Graham. Were you surprised about that?
No, I wasn't. Brandon wanted to come back, and he wasn't, particularly expensive. He knows he fits in very well here in the defensive system now that he's gotten used to linebacker. And I know Billy Davis really likes him, so does Chip. So no, I wasn't too surprised. I knew if the Eagles just came close, money-wise, I knew that Brandon would be back.
All right, Walter Thurman's also here, and obviously it looks like he will get a shot to be the Legion of Boom, like the JV version here in Philadelphia. But what is next?
The IR version, I guess.
Yeah, well, here's another guy, yes. Matthews, Bradford, and Thurman, the three of those guys, I don't know, played a full season combined last year. So what is next?
And Kiko Alonso, too.
Oh, and Kiko, that's too right. And he said he's not sure if he's going to be ready for the mini camps, but should be ready for training camp. Same with Bradford, too, right? Bradford's not sure if he's going to be ready by mini camp?
Yeah, he doesn't actually. He just said that he wants to take it really slow this time, not try to rush things, and risk getting hurt again. So he's just going to take a more patient approach and just make sure that he's ready for training camp.
All right. Anything left in free agency you would like to see them do?
Let's see. Now, pretty set at punter, pretty set at kicker. Maybe a safety.
Right.
Although I don't know what's really out there because they do need one to go with Malcolm Jenkins, so they're not going to either free agency or draft for that too. I think that's one of the, like Chip said, he's not moving up from Mariota because he's got too many holes to fill. I think safety is one of the biggest holes they have.
All right. Well, as the Chip turns, they got another. Is Chip speaking again, or was that it?
He'll speak again maybe like October.
Were you surprised he spoke today? Was that a surprise?
Yeah, I was shocked. Yeah, nobody expected it. Everybody was showing up just to talk to Brandon Graham, and then all of a sudden Chip walks in. It was a big surprise, but he needed to do it. I mean, there's been too much that has happened since the end of the year, and he's been so tight-lipped,
What was the most revealing thing, if you're writing a column on something Chip said today that maybe you were shocked, or what was the most revealing thing from him today? Because you're right, he hasn't spoken, and we've been waiting, and there's been so many things. You probably didn't get enough time to ask everything, but what was the most revealing thing out of his press conference today?
It was just about his attitude with the way that he views players, that injuries don't necessarily concern him. I think he's one of those guys who seems to treat injured players as like going to the bargain basement at Walmart. You can really get a steal there. You can get a sweater for $7 or something like that. But it's just that he doesn't seem to value or be too concerned with it. With these guys who have all either missed last season or the year before. That's the part that surprised me, that he's taking such big gambles with guys who aren't necessarily that durable.
All right, Dave Weinberg from the Press of Atlantic City. I know Byron Maxwell is set to speak in about 10 minutes from now, so we'll let you get yourself a seat and set up in the NovaCare Center. We appreciate a couple minutes, Dave.
Well, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me as always. I appreciate it.